All right, we got our November SHTF box. So here we are, and so we do have our November SHTF box. You will apologize for my voice. I am just currently a little bit under the weather, but everything's going to be okay. All right, so but I want to get into this box. All right. Again, if this is your first time here, or if you're unaware, there's 3 levels to the SHTF box. You have your basic, primary, pro, and elite, something like that. You got 3 levels. They are, well, of course, the one time that they put the card on the top, no less. Let's see here. All right, so you have your primary, your pro, and your elite. Your primary box is $19.99 per month. Your pro box is $49.99 per month, and the elite box is $89.99 per month. And whatever one you get, if you get like the pro, you get the primary and the pro. You get the elite, which we have. You get primary, pro. You get everything. All right, so we're gonna start with some pretty cool stuff in this box. We're gonna start with our first item here, and we have another arm from M48 Ops. We have a polar fleece neck gaiter. These things are lifesavers. Neck gaiters are fantastic. The MSRP is for $7.98. Not too bad of a price for that. All right, next up for coming in for $8.99, we have a 5-pack of the P51 large can openers. These things are awesome. I keep one of these on my keychain. So these things, you know, if you're like in a survival situation, you got to get your cans of food open. These things don't fail on you. These things are reliable. So $8.99, almost about $1 something each. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, we have another one of the winners. Not really. This is a trash item. $8.99. We do have another one of these wire saws. We've gotten a few of these. So, they are what they are. They do the job, but there's better items out there for to cut wood. But $8.99 is overpriced for this. $2 maybe, and that's even stretching it. They break really easy. You have to go real slow. The best way to do it, if you see the picture here, you make a bow saw out of it, and you have to just be careful, go real slow. But they do work. Okay, next up we have from Tack Warrior. We have a Survivor full tang neck knife. All right, this is something new. I'm not a huge fan of neck knives, but we'll see what this one looks like. This one I might be able to get behind, because this one actually has a little bit more of a handle and grip to it. Pretty dull. Yeah, it's not sharp at all. But that we can make it sharp. It's got some aggressive jimping on the back. The sheath has a whistle that doesn't work. But it does lock in. It does lock in nicely. It has a nice locking system, nice locking mechanism. Really locks in there. Again, I'm not a fan of neck knives. It'd be nice if the whistle worked, but. And then last but not least, we have It's supposed to be this. It says emergency sleeping blanket, but we got another emergency blanket. So yeah, emergency sleeping blanket. So MSRP's for $6.99. That's overpriced, but these things are good. You can really never have too many of these because these things are kind of disposable. So not upset about that. So that would have been the MSRP for this. They claim is $41.94 according to what everything adds up to it. The Polar Nest. This is really nice. Neck gaiters are awesome. I use them when I was in Iraq to keep the sand out of my mouth. Can openers, wire saw, the neck knife. Other than that, the basic box is pretty blah. So next up, we have another set of these. These are the black Kevlar cut resistant knives. These things do work. So, and that's pretty good because you don't want to cut your hands, especially in a survival situation, because if you get a little infection, then you can lose your hand. So not too bad of an item. They say that's $19.99. maybe. All right, next up we have something I can always get behind. We have some 650-pound luminous paracord green. So at night, this is good so you don't trip over your guy lines and stuff. Not really good if you're trying to hide, but it's pardon me. But pretty good stuff there. That's $20.99. Way overpriced, but paracord is always good. And so, if you get the Pro Box, pay $49.99. The retail value is $82.92. Again, the neck gaiter, the paracord, probably the two best items out of that. The cut resistant gloves are good and they do work. So those are pretty good too. But the prices of these two advanced items, pro items, leave a lot to be desired. Okay, next up we have a pretty cool item here. From Bug Out, we have a multi-function entrenchment tool. So these things are pretty cool. I got one of these before. I think in my very first box I got something just like this. This is a really cool item. Bottle opener, hook knife, wrenches, ruler, whistle, cleaver, screwdriver, fire striker, saw, knife, durable nylon sheath. So that's a pretty cool item. We'll open that up later. And then last but not least, we can get our box out of the way here. Oh, this is $39.98. And I know when I first got this, I pointed out that I had tried to order one of these from Facebook, and I pretty much got my money taken, never got reimbursed, and never got my tools. So I was pretty happy to get that in my very first box, and it's nice to come back to it. So, and it was a Bug Out one also. It's a pretty cool item. This is a good item here. It's about as reliable as anything you're gonna find. This type of thing. It's pretty well built. It's not as good as my actual e-tool that I have, but it's pretty good. And next up, from Dragonfire, we have the Ultimate Fireside Kit. This MSRP is for $41.98. So, include an arc lighter with USB cable, a ferro rod with striker, 4 fire starter ropes. Double arc lighter is waterproof and windproof. Fire starter ropes are also water resistant. Ferro rod will spark in all weather conditions. Includes 6 feet of paracord. So, you got yourself a fire kit. We'll open this up later by itself, so we can check that out. And then this one we've seen, so we'll get that one opened up too. And then, so they say that if you order the Elite Box, you get all of this, and you'd pay $89.99. And the MSRP is $164.88. Again, the basic box, the primary box this month is usually the primary box. You can't go wrong because you pay like $20. But this month's it's just kind of, the neck gaiter, really cool item, like that. The emergency blanket, it's a useful item. It's not like an exciting item, but if you are going to get a filler item, this is a good one to get because they're disposable and you need a lot of these. So I'm not too mad about that. This knife, it's dull out of the box. It needs to be sharpened. Good locking system. The whistle doesn't work, which is kind of upsetting. It just, you know, for the aspect of it, if you're gonna put it in there, make sure it works. So that's kind of the wire saw. Useful. I don't like these. They break too easily. You know, you could get, and then for $8.99, you can go get a folding camp saw at Family Dollar or Harbor Freight. A folding camp saw that's going to do a much better job than that. So I think $8.99 is way overpriced for that. Way overpriced. And then the can openers. These things are good. Not exciting, but these things are really good. These should be in all of your kits. Everybody should have one of these in your party. Everybody, you know, they should keep one of these and know how to use them, because these things are fantastic. And the P51s, these are larger than the 38s, so these are even better. So it's a good item. It's a good item. And then we get into the pro level. You got the gloves, a good item, useful. Paracord, way overpriced, but you know, it's cordage. I'm never going to be upset about getting cordage. And then finally, we got the entrenchment tool. I'm excited about that. And a fire kit. We'll open the fire kit in its own video, and we'll see what that's all about. All right. But other than that, that's your November SHTF box. I think that this is definitely better than last month. Last month was a real stinker. Last month's box was just not exciting at all. Well, that's when they came in the bag for me. I think it was, and that also, you know, not coming in a box when you're the elite box. You should get the box too. So that one was pretty lackluster. But I think that this is a good one. And granted, I'm looking at it as like some of the stuff I already have and everything. But if you just take a step back, if this is the first box that you got, you've got combustion, right? So you have combustion, you have cordage, you have a couple cutting tools, not the best, but you have cutting tools. They can be worked on. You have cover of sorts. You know, you can only strap up and stay warm. So a lot of your basics are covered in it. So not too bad of a box. I think this is a pretty solid box considering some of the ones we've had in the past. Again, this is November. We got one more this year, and then we're gonna wrap this up in December, and we'll see what we get in December. So yeah, hey, if this is your first time on the channel, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate having you. Do me a favor, hit that likes up button, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. I'm considering maybe taking a break of the SHTF for like a year, and maybe focusing on other boxes just to get, you know, I mean, this one is, you know, it's a lot of fun garbage, but you know, we're getting a lot of the similar items, and I'm thinking maybe I might just instead of doing the SHTF, we may just, because, you know, largely financial reasons, but when I switch over to the barrel and blade, I may just decide to just go with, you know, the barrel and blade, and instead of the SHTF. That way, you know, we'll get, you know, actually we'll get better items, because if you look at what we would have gotten a couple months ago, we would have gotten, you know, a nice machete and a plate carrier. So I'm definitely getting barrel and blade, but we may just be swapping it out. I like the SHTF box, don't get me wrong, but it's starting to be a lot of redundancies, and so I'm not excited. I'm not as excited when I open, but then they put stuff like this in that I haven't seen before, so I don't know. But we're definitely going to finish the year out, and then we'll decide if we're going to keep going on with it. We'll probably keep going with it, but but we're definitely picking up barrel and blade in January, so look forward to that. All right, let me know what you think is the best item in here. I got a feeling this fire starter kit is going to be pretty good, though. Ultimate Fireside Kit. Again, we'll open this up in its own video, because I want to take a look at each component and give it a little bit more design to it. And we'll probably open this one up just to see if it is the exact same one we got last time, and then we'll see how this holds up, and you know, we'll put it to the test. Right, that's it. Sorry for the coughing there earlier. Again, I am feeling a little bit under the weather, but I want to get this video up. So, as I know a lot of you like looking at this video. And hey, until next time, keep prepping.